Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what might be the last the last Star Trek stream we do, at least for a very long time. Now, in the interest of fairness, there's actually a few other things we might do someday. This is our last STO stream, like one way or another. Like this is it for STO. And I'll explain why in just a second. But sorry, it was 2, Captain Zeus, not 4. I don't know why I thought of those 4. Maybe just 'cause it took so damn long to come out. Oh yeah, we can always talk about Star Trek. We always ask Star Trek questions. I'm still doing the Trek lore run. We're in season 5, I think, of Voyager right now. Yeah, I felt like it was a bunch, Captain Zeus. I'm misremembering. Don't mind me. Anyways, so obviously we might someday cover like Infinite or the Star Trek Armada games are still out there. There might be a new Star Trek game, like we just had Resurgence, which was actually pretty solid, all things considered. I recommend it, by the way, if you haven't played Star Trek Resurgence. Good stuff. It has its issues, but it's extremely Trek, good and bad. It gets worse after a while, which is also very Trek. You ever notice how many two-parters the first part is noticeably better than the second part? I'll give you site-specific example of that. Time Zero. When we were going back through Time Zero for the Trek lore run, the first episode is actually really solid. Good intrigue, good character development, good build-up, good mystery. And then the second part comes out, and it's trash. It's just, oh, okay. So, keeping with Trek traditions, I'm kidding. It's very Trek. It's very Trek. But let's talk STO, because several people have said, okay, hold on. Why is, who is accordioning me? Who is this? Oh my god. How did you find me? I don't know how, but they found me. Oh, I know exactly why that is. I can even explain in detail why that is. So, just real quick. Back in Best of Both Worlds, they made Best of Both Worlds Part 1. Now, you have to understand that Season 3 of TNG was actually a mess under the hood. And so, a lot of rejiggering of management and directors and cast and stuff. We had 4 separate showrunners just in Season 3 of TNG, until it finally landed on Rick Berman. Because he actually didn't originally want the slot, as weird as that sounds. And it was originally going to go to several other people. It's not even Rick Berman, it was actually Michael Piller. I don't want to get too much into it. Point being, there was such a rejiggering, and everyone was so stressed and so tired, that when they finally finished pushing through Season 3 with Best of Both Worlds Part 1, everyone just needed a degauze time. So they degauzed, they came back fresh, and they're like, okay, now let's finish it up. And they finished up Best of Both Worlds Part 2, and it turned out to be the most successful two-parter in modern television history. Pretty much the most successful one since Dallas, I would say. So, yeah, it was a really, really big deal, and it really, really succeeded. And they never stopped doing it. Now, I don't know if Modern Trek does this, because Modern Trek doesn't exist. New Trek doesn't exist. But Modern Trek... oh, that sucks, Mr. Ed. F. But Modern Trek never stopped doing that, up to and including the season finale of Season 3 of Enterprise. You know, the alien in the Nazi uniform? Yeah, they had no plan for Part 2 of that. They had no idea how they're going to follow through on that. And so, this is not actually a joke. Almost every two-parter from Best of Both Worlds all the way to the end of Enterprise Season 3, which I think was Endgame or something like that. Stormfront, thank you. No, the one before Stormfront. All of those two-parters, they would do the first part, and then they would walk away from it, and then they would do the second part, because it worked the first time, and it became tradition. And that was a terrible idea. 0 hour, thank you. It was a terrible idea. And it's been proven many, many times. Occasionally it worked out. But for the most part, like, you look at any one of those two-parters, and I'm not counting the feature-length film stuff, that's different. It's just... Now that I've answered your question, let me go ahead... Yeah, exactly, Ross, because those are designed to be one part. I mean, DS9 has several in-season two-parters. They call those feature-length. Or feature-length special, I think? Oh god, I can't remember the exact term right now, but there's a specific term for that. Those are different because those were designed to be one episode. They were built as one episode and they were constructed as one episode. It's a different approach to it. So a lot of those episodes are great. Like Chain of Command is great. The Paradise Lost duo over in DS9 is great. I can't remember the name of the episode, but the one where they cross the Rubicon. The Dias Cast. There we go. The Dias Cast. Unification. Way of the Warrior. Stuff like that. So there's several good two-parters, but that's because they were designed to be a two-parter, not. All right, let's make part one. All right, bye. Oh, right. Part two. It's also worth noting a lot of the two-parter handoffs tended to be they would change off crew in between seasons. I've actually been studying even more behind the scenes about Voyager as we've been going through the Voyager Trek lore. It's astonishing looking at some of this stuff from the perspective of the people who are making Voyager, because obviously there was the big changeover in season 1 and the big changeover in season 2, but they kept kind of overhauling the crew, not the cast. You know, the directors, the lighting, the camera people, the producers, several times, even as the seasons kept going. Like, they just couldn't leave well enough alone. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Star Trek Online. Why is this the last time I'm playing this game? Now, as with all things, there's an asterisk there. I might come back someday. I doubt it. Because it's a 1-2 punch, okay? Point 1. Once upon a time, there's this game called Star Trek Online. And I played it. And it really, really sucked. You could make the boobs on the women gigantic back then. Don't ask me why I made a character that looked a lot like Beverly Crusher with giant breasts. I'm just being honest. I'm not actually joking, though. It's one of the only things I remember about the alpha. No, you can't do it anymore. It's like this right here is reasonably well endowed right here. This is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. Compared to what way it was. There was this really awful Borg mission, right? And it was bad. It was so bad. The ground combat, like, you think ground combat's bad now. You gotta understand exactly how much work has been put into this game to make the ground combat not terrible. You're fine, Warp Core. I was just making a point. And then there was like this space sequence, which, like, it's hard to even explain it. Like, there was a Borg ship, but it was like a Borg wreck, and you had to go and, like, just attack the Borg wreck, and it wouldn't actually, like, you couldn't actually kill the damn thing, and it wouldn't attack back, and there was no feedback, because feedback is apparently an insane concept that most game developers don't understand. We've talked about this recently, and so it was just, and it was terrible. And so I put the game down until Romulan, until the Romulan expansion came out. That was, I believe, the second major overhaul of the game. It was a big change. The ground combat got better. The storytelling got substantially better. The space combat was improved in several ways. They revamped a couple of under the hood stuff. It was just generally a better and more enjoyable game. Me and Pax actually played through the Romulan campaign and we're like, oh, this is great. And we got into it, and I kind of never got out of it. But then something weird happened. Now, I wish I knew the name of the guy, but unfortunately finding information on this is kind of weird and hard to do, but there's this one specific person that they hired. Of course, Ross. They hired this new guy to be their CFO or CMO. I actually forget which. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry, Mr. Red. I don't know why you would ever do that. What? Zoom out. Get rid of these endeavors. We're not doing endeavors. Get rid of these. Get rid of these. Go away. Go away. No, go away. Oh, whatever. And he was like, you know what we should do? We should make the game worse in every way, produce less content, and monetize it more. This was several years ago. Any of you out there listening to me right now who know about STO, and I imagine quite a few of you do, you know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't know about the new guy, even if you don't know about the change in direction, you felt it, right? There was this point in time in which content kind of stopped happening. And it just slowed to this absolute trickle. And it was awful. And it was weird. And so Pax and I got into this habit of checking once a month or once every few months to see if there was a new update or new quest. It was like, okay. And then we would check even more, and then we'd check even more. And it got to the point, so this has been a very gradual thing. It's been quite a long time. I think we're actually at about the 7 or 8 year range like that. It's been a long time. There was a period in time in which we went an entire year without any new content. Like, they had new ships you could buy, they had new modules you could buy, they had new packages, they had new monetization on the shop, they had new events you could do, but they only had like one new quest, one new bit of content in an entire year. And that was awful. And so we Pax and I agreed to just kind of be like, we're good. So I vowed to go and stick with it for the stuff that I'd already promised to do, which at the time was just the Terran missions, but then the I Can't Believe It's Not Borg came out. And so I committed. I was like, all right, once that finishes, we'll go ahead and finish that. STO, for those of you who don't remember, was actually funded like over a year ago. This run has been funded for a while. We've been sitting here waiting for this quest to come out for almost a year. And yeah, the interest level just kind of went as a consequence of that. So this is it. That's the biggest reason right there. I didn't even tell you about the fact that 80% of STO's staff was fired by the new company that bought them, which was a development company primarily focused on mobile games, which is part of the Embracer Group. So that sucks too. And that's the thing. A lot of people have thought that I decided to peace out. Is it Embracer? Oh, God. I actually don't remember. Whatever. Yeah, there's like 2 people still left at Cryptic. I'm still pissed when they got rid of... Do you remember when they kicked out... I can't remember his name. The community guy. That's right. Embracer kicked it off to Dika. That's right. I thought Dika was under Embracer, but you're right. You're right. Yeah, losing Kale sucked. Dude was already doing way too much work for one guy, but he was at least doing it. And he was doing it well. Yeah, I was going to say, Bordicus is still there, but yeah, it was Kale. It was Kale. And losing him, I'm going to be real with you. The signs have been on the wall for a long time. But when I saw Kale kicked out, I'm like, I'm done. You're kicking that guy out? Okay, we're good. Like, you just kicked out the janitor who comes in on weekends. You know what I mean? So Embracer bought Gearbox. Gearbox owned Cryptic. Embracer sold Cryptic to Dika, Dragon Player. I think I'm getting that all right. Forgive me if I missed a step there. Because, just like THQ before them, Embracer is a bunch of monkeys who have no idea what they're doing with regards to business or gaming. Anyways, that's why I'm done with STO. And, you know, every now and again you'll see YouTubers or streamers who are like, this is it, I'm done with World of Warcraft, or I'm done with Star Wars, or Star Trek is dead to me. But I just want to be clear. I want to be very, very thorough about this, because when I say that, there's no... I'm not trying to drum up drama, and I'm not trying to put clicks or do clickbait or anything like that. I'm just sad. You know? I have really loved STO for a long time. I'm glad we got to do the lore run, and we got to review it. And that's awesome. So let's wrap this sucker up, shall we? So the first thing we're going to do is the Mirror Universe arc. So I think we might actually have music. Oh, but first, because I keep forgetting to do this, let me say shoutouts and remember, shoutouts and gratitude to Junk Garage, Wenlock, Ben One Eye, I think is the new name, Mr. Red, Warpcore, Grub, Kitsubine, Kira White Noise, Abyssacat, Ace, Adam Derupe, Adamemnon, Adrian C, Alex Susina, Alex Korbianiki, excuse me, Ali Al-Muhanna, Alyssa A. Allen, Andreas Meyer, Andrew Guerrera, Andrew Lever, Andrew Lipset, I have a lot of Andrews, Anthony Gagan, Etheru, Autumn Razor, Bedeau, Bella Calic, Bird, Blades, Brent Holt, Brian Werner, Saloke, Cesis, Chaotic Danny, Chris O'Gorman, Chris Simpson, Chris V, Christian Ruprecht, Christopher Wright, Chu Ren, CJ Carpenter, Corthulu, Krenzler, and our majority shareholders, which are Justin T, Warpcore, again, because I screwed up earlier, and Frieza. And, of course, the person who put this game on the list for the finale run here, which is Flygand. Thank you, all of you, very, very much for your support, and for being here to send off this poor game. Because this game, I have a lot of love for this game, kind of in spite of it itself, you know? But here we are. Okay. Now, how many of you want to bet that my hot bars are gonna be wrong when I go to space? Any takers? That should be correct, Captain Zeus, yes. Okay, here we go, here we go. The fires are the pattern enhancers. Alright, here we go, here we go. Dramatic pause. Really taking a long time to load for some reason. Wow, okay. I'm just gonna chill here for a second. The game does not want me to go to space. Oh man, Champions Online. Cryptic is such a weird company. They've put out some extremely good stuff over the years that they have also then ruined. Hey! Oh, I have not. I have not seen. The new ESD. This is from Picard Season 3, isn't it? A acceptable season. That's how I'm going to describe that. I know a lot of people gush over Picard Season 3. I am not one of those people. It's better than Season 2, which isn't saying much, and I like it better than Season 1, which is also not saying much. What's funny is I actually don't like the look of this ship. They never did add holographic emitters. I was always hoping for a transmog for my ship, but I never got it. Okay, so... looks like most of my buttons are right. Holy crap. I am in shock. Okay, let's go here. Terran Gambit. Here we go. So as you can see, I've actually done Terran Gambit. Kings and Queens. That's the latest one. You can actually... oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I just want you to understand that you see how I'm currently on the 3rd quest of this arc. I haven't played this game in like over a year. And that's the new content since then. Oh, even seeing it makes me sad. Okay, whatever. Let's do this. Let's do this.
One of our classified research facilities has taken a high-profile person of interest into custody. Starfleet intelligence sent agents to investigate, but the prisoner refuses to speak with them on the matter. Here's where it gets interesting. The prisoner says they will only speak to you about this. Naturally, Starfleet intelligence wants to get to the bottom of things, and so they've requested your assistance. You've been granted clearance to enter the facility and meet with the prisoner. See what's going on.
That's a good question. What is going on? Did it update yet? Okay, looks like it updated. So this, for the record, I decided I'm not going to do like an expansion-y thing because STO barely has it. So this is just STO score right here. This is just how STO is scoring. There's going to be a little bit of auditing because this is the last time. There's no going back and re-auditing this. So we're going to kind of sweep things up, clean things out, pull this a little bit up to date, and see how this works. Then we're going to get a text here. Very important. A huge number of those negatives to story are Jaula, yes. If I have to explain the gameplay negatives, then you've never played this game. Actually, one of the things I remember most is when we were going through the early content of this game, and I kept saying, guys, I swear at some point this game will actually get worthwhile. You remember that? I say that a lot. Every MMO we covered, I'm like, just bear with me, guys, please. Just bear with me. I know we're in ARR. I know we're in Burning Crusade. I know we're doing the Trooper. Just bear with me, please. Oh, God. What's really sad is the ground combat is so much better than it used to be. It is so pathetic. Okay, so... where am I going? Izar, Alpha. Favorite arcs at STO? Oh, jeez. That's a good question. My first thought was going to be the DS9 arc, because the DS9 arc is really, really good, but actually, no. The DS9 arc has one really huge flaw with it, if you remember. And that's its final episode, which was just noticeably worse in every way. Also came out quite a ways distant from the rest of it. No, actually, obviously, the big Iconian arc. The finale for the Iconian arc. That's my pick right there. But I also was more impressed than I thought I would be with the Delta Quadrant. So that's my trio right there. If I had to pick an order, I would probably go with Iconian, DS9, Delta, I think. I'd put it in that order. All three of them were solid. And for my fourth arc, I'll pick Romulan. I know that sounds strange because Romulan's old, and by God, it has a lot of issues, but at the same time, the Romulan arc did a lot right, you know? Clunky, weird cutscenes and bad animation and terrible voice acting underneath a surprisingly well-designed and engaging story that kept me wanting to know what was going to happen next. We all know Rascals is the best of all episodes, obviously. The Borg advance. Yeah, no. So yeah, New Romulus. There's the Iconian War. There's the DS9 stuff, and I guess there's the Voyager stuff. And then there's Age of Discovery, Jaulu's Discovery, and the Klingon Civil War. She's right there! She's right on the cover! God damn it! Okay, fine. I thought it was going to be a little close to this. Time to become salamanders. Bragwin, we need to go have salamander babies. Let's go. Hang on. I got Alt-Tab, which means killing the music, because, look, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know what you want from me. The sister of Takuma. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, Yeah, I don't want to enter First Federation space, you gosh darn thing. Ah! What? Yeah, because I was still talking on Falkenstein. Am I still part of a guild? How do I tell? It's one of these. Oh my god, I am still part of a guild. Holy crap. They never kicked me. I just... I'm actually shocked by that. Used to be a gigantic guild. I don't know how it is nowadays. I do still have the Jellyfish of Doom. So hang on. So the main guild has 450 people. That was 42. That's 29. That's 23. That's 203. 36. 222. 50. Oh, I could just look over here. 2,355 total. Anybody online? Are there active members? I have no idea. How would I even know? Look at roster, of course. There's one other person online right now. One. Booyaka. Maybe I'm the default owner. Yes. I mean, if you want to try out STO, unironically, it is still a good game. There's still good content in it. Okay, let me go look up this donation from Judo Joker here so I can actually jot this down. He just wants it to be silent. That's what this really is. That's what this is all about. Going towards Rayman Legends. Trails in the Skyblock. Liar Princess. Blind Prince. And about a bonk in a second here. The odds of me coming back to this game are approaching 0. Make us call on Spockbot. If they somehow someday fix this game, cool, awesome. You know, just about anything could eventually turn it around. But realistically speaking, come on, it's not happening. And that kind of answers Kraken-san's question as well, because there's no way. There's no way in hell, right? I've even read all the interviews that were coming out of Dika when they were talking about, when they had just picked this up. What would fixed look like to me? Honestly, even, you can't fix the game on game's underlying code. It's just garbage and terrible. I am my scars, is the exact quote, Judo Joker. But, honestly, if they just kept producing awesome content, I'd be fine with it. I have spent money on this game with no hesitation because of the fact that there was really good content and I wanted to pay for it. I wanted to be like, here, take my money, I support you. I've got 17,000 Zenny just sitting there, piling up. But they're never going to do that. They're never going to do that. This game is going to die, and that's the end of it. And that is a freaking shame. On what? Workcore? Hang on. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Mud's Market. These are all scams, like every time they're on here, by the way. Oh, man. I could get new uniforms. I could get a Kittimer, which I actually already have. I get the Red Angel suit, which I already have. I could get the Crystal Harmonics set, which I already have. I could get this thing, which I already have. Why are these all stuff I already own? Oh, yeah. Sold. Sold. Here's my money. Here's my money. I'm going to be going with my hologram of Beverly Crusher for about 6 hours. I'll be back tomorrow for the rest of the stream. I think I have everything in here, actually. No, I'm wrong. I don't have some of these. Would you like to be an Andorian? No, I'm good. Where's the ship bundles? Hang on, here we go. The Galaxy Pack, hell yeah. I want condos in space, plural. I want to have a Mary Sue ship, except I want 3 of them. I can't believe these Dyson bundles still exist, by the way. That was how long ago now? Whatever. Let's actually do some content. You know, the thing that STO has forgotten even exists. It's fine. It's fine.
Commander Kyle DeSoto aboard the ISR research station. We are under heavy attack and require immediate...
Did you hear something? Hang on, I thought I heard something. I wouldn't worry about it. Commander DeSoto, can you hear me?
This is Captain Othu, USS Kanchu. We could use your help dealing with this Terran Empire fleet. There's something they want on that station, and they're not taking no for an answer.
Okay, I can go kill them all.
We were expecting you. The Terrans, not so much. Not sure how they found a station.
And the answer to the question here is yes. Yeah, you still hear Nimoy every time you level up. Sorry, I'm a very Alpha Strike front-loaded kind of a build here. I'm actually quite proud of this build. I'm sure it's hilariously out of date at this point, but I still like it. Yeah, I have beam overload right there. Wait, I think. Yeah, overload 3.
Glad you turned up. Things were going sideways fast. The Terrans really did a number on the station. Our scans show they're running on emergency power and batteries. Most of their critical systems are down, including comms.
The Terrans knew exactly when and where to strike.
Yes, we noticed that as well. They made surgical strikes on a number of key targets, but didn't do enough damage to destroy the station. Like I said earlier, there's something in there they want. Guess they figured they needed to soften the station up first. Can you beam an away team over? We'll keep an eye on things out here.
Very well. I'll give the station a hand.
Excellent. I'd go in weapons hot if I were you. The Terrans sent boarding parties over once the station lost its shields. I doubt they'll be happy to see your team when they arrive.
Most important for a puzzle in a game. Fun. It doesn't matter how challenging it is, or how complex it is, or how short it is, if I'm not enjoying it.
Commander Kyle DeSoto, Starfleet Intelligence. Thanks for coming. We can really use your help here. If we can get to engineering, we can get main power up and running. Once we have that handled, we can start restoring critical systems.
It's prisoner's status, Commander.
They're fine. The brig's security systems are still online, and life support is functional on that deck. To be honest, they're probably in the safest spot on the station. The rest of the place is running on emergency power and crawling with Terran boarding parties.
Very well. Let's get to engineering.
This way! We're lucky you made it out here. Things were looking pretty grim. Hard to say what the Terrans are after. Could be a number of things. They could be after any one of the classified projects. Or all of them.
Yeah, the root beer. We can't let them have it under any circumstances.
Afraid the turbo lift's offline. We'll need to use the Jeffries tube to get down there. Watch out! There are still some hostiles here!
How can you tell? I can't see anything. Oh god. Don't mind my anti-proton beam of death here. I love the sound effect of this thing, by the way.
Check on that plasma leak while I help him out.
Seriously, I love the sound effect of that gun. I'm never switching off this staff.
We need to get through here. See that lower panel in the wall? Open it to access the EPS valves. You can adjust them to redirect the plasma flow and clear us a path. He's stable. Once we get comms back up, I'll call for a medical team.
That's a good question, Spartan. The better thing to say would be that STO died years ago, and it's been lurching on like a zombie ever since. Unlike Tor, which has been doing even worse, STO at least still exists, and is ostensibly still producing content. Tor is really dead. Ground combat has been getting better, I can need these past tense, gotten better consistently for a while. I will admit, however, that you probably can't even tell, but I have all kinds of stuff on my bar here, which delete enemies. I have the ability to freeze them, burn them, nuke them, black hole them. I can open a portal to the sun. I can assimilate them with Borg nanoprobes. I can rip their souls out. And I am set up very specifically to just kind of delete ground combat, because I'm not a huge fan of ground combat.
Engineering's over here.
It used to be worse, for whatever that's worth.
Damn! They're still here, too! Take them down!
Yeah, I'm science. Back when I thought science meant healer, instead of nothing.
There are more in the back. We have to stop whatever...
Yeah, I have the staff of Ra or something. I don't even know what to call this thing. I know it's a Herald staff. That's not what I mean. It's an Iconian weapon. What I mean is, I don't know what to call this thing, because, like, think about it for a second. Like, imagine this in the show. Hi! And then, like, whatever you're looking at just isn't there anymore. The Goffy sticks, I think is what they're called, over in Stargate. Wish they were this thing.
Looks clear. Let's get to work. I need you to open that lower access panel and reconfigure the isolinear chips inside it. Once you do that, we should be able to get the reactor back online.
Oh, and the giant red laser of death? That's a portal to the sun. Probably it's actually kind of outdated at this point in time. It's only a Mark X weapon. But it's still my favorite weapon in the game, so I'm just going to keep using it. Come on. There we go. It's an old weapon, Evo.
Damn. A couple of EPS conduits were fried. We need to lock down those power spikes. I'll do what I can down here to keep things from melting down. Gonna need you to get upstairs and deal with those power spikes, though.
Okay. Just roam over here. It's the wrong way to go, of course. See all that loot? Check it out. You see all that loot I'm not looting? I never have to loot in this game ever again. It's the greatest feeling. I can just ignore all of it. Okay.
Okay, there are two consoles you can use to regulate the power spikes. The consoles are on either side of the reactor. Good luck. Work smart, but work fast. We need to get this under control.
I mean, if you really want to min-max crafting, there's a point in doing it, but I don't, so I don't. Ooh, there. Right, Stranger of Paradise, worst game ever. Forced me to loot. So that's an interesting question, Evo. Do me a favor, hold on to that question, okay? Do me a favor, hold on to it. Hold on to it. Well, you see, I'm just that good at video games, Yura, and it has nothing to do with Rax and Blade just kind of co-oping me to victory. Patiently waiting for the giant arcs of electricity to go away. Don't mind me. I'm just that good, guys. You don't even understand. The power of my video gaming. I was only going 3% the whole time, too.
Nice work. Power's back and the EPS is locked down and in the green. Alright, there's a console near your position. Use it to bring internal sensors back online. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
Ops to all hands. We're detecting hostiles at the brig. I repeat, hostiles at the brig.
Now what?
That's not good. They must be going for the prisoner. Get to the brig ASAP and deal with the situation. I need to keep working here to restore critical systems while there's still time.
Alright, we'll go secure the brig. Yes. Ignore the tribbles. Those are just buffs. That's not actually a joke.
Sore eyes. Terrans have us pinned down.
Oh, did you notice that my beam of death is also a chain lightning? It bounces. So my main gun, my default white damage gun, is also an AoE.
Oh, I see you got my message.
Don't worry, I've got a whole ship full of war crimes.
I noticed you took your...
Seriously, one of my main weapons is actually a pain beam, as in an agony beam. You know, like the agony booth from the Terran Empire. Except it's a beam, so it hits the entire enemy ship.
Let's talk.
I want you to imagine that you're on your ship, and then agony shoots through the whole ship. Just picture that from all. I believe that's the agony lance. Hang on, what is that nonsense? Oh, where is that stupid thing? Or is it not even here? Is this it? No. Might not actually be able to see it here, because it might be the specific thing that's part of the ship. Oh, the name of the sorry. The exact name of the Herald weapon is the Herald Anti-Proton Beam Projector. Mine is, obviously you can see it's ultraviolet, or ultra rare, excuse me. I have it for crit damage, crit hit, and then damage times 2. I think I'm actually a Betazoid. You could tell because, well, I mean, I just look like Troy, don't I? I also actually redid my face specifically for these missions. I'll just mention that for now and move on. So yes, this is Chase Masterson.
I have to say, I was beginning to think you weren't coming. Why the delay? All-you-can-eat buffet at Quark's?
Yes, and his root beer is delicious.
Explain myself? Oh, honey, we do not have the time it'd take for me to explain myself to anyone. Trust me. Bottom line, I need your help with the kind of problem you excel at solving. And I need it fast. That said, can we continue this conversation somewhere else? I don't know if you noticed, but this place is falling apart at the seams, and I'd rather not die in a cell. Thanks.
Are you scared of something, Lita?
Absolutely! Only an idiot wouldn't be scared in a situation like this. Look, quit wasting time. Get me out of here before it's too late.
She's got a point.
You're skeptical. I can see that. Fine. I recently acquired a sizable amount of classified Alliance research data. All sorts of juicy secrets in there. They served me well. Knowledge is power, after all.
What about midriffs? Are midriffs power?
Even someone like me has to answer to the Emperor. I needed to justify my existence, so I shared some of that data I acquired with him. He found something. something that he craved more than anything. Getting it became his sole purpose in life. As time went by, it was clear something was wrong. Whispers of madness. Rumors of a new superweapon that could destroy anything, anywhere. Even here.
And how did you end up here?
Does it matter? I'm here. Let's move on. I had access to the Emperor's tactical plans. He means to conquer everything in existence, and he believes this weapon will help him do that. Thing is, some of our top scientists feel that he could destroy everything in existence with it. In fact, they think that's the most likely outcome. And I feel the same way.
So you came here for help.
Correct. I found out about this place some time ago. It's close to a point in space where the barrier between our two universes is thin. I made my way here and turned myself in. Figured a super secret research station would avoid a lot of prying eyes. Huh. Guess I dropped the ball on that one, huh?
Oh yeah, real quick. Nobody spoil who the Emperor is, okay? Now, for those of you not aware, they actually did a big build-up on who exactly the Emperor was, because they kept refusing to actually reveal who it was for a really long time. Not just because the episodes were being stretched out, but because like they kept doing arc after arc building up to this of who's the Emperor, who's the Emperor. We've actually already seen hints of it, if you remember, in some of the quest chains we've already done prior to now. Still don't know who it is. So for those of you who don't know, which Star Trek character do you think is the evil Emperor? Now, why are the Terrans on this stupid station?
I'm usually pretty good at covering my tracks, but I was in a hurry. Some of the Emperor's best got wind of my snooping around and decided to put a stop to it. And me. One of my people ratted me out. Captain Kumarke. She's always wanted my job.
They weren't here to liberate you.
Huh, not even a little. They were here to silence me. Permanently. Didn't work out so well for them, though. Like I always say, if you come at the Queen, you better not miss.
Okay.
I see you've met the prisoner. Charming, isn't she?
Status report.
I've been able to restore most of the critical systems, but we still have a Terran problem. They've regrouped and dug in around the data lab. I need you to convince them of the error of their ways.
I know what that means.
There is a turbo lift around the corner from you that will take you there. I'll meet you there after I secure the brig here. Those Terrans really did a number on this place.
Don't you dare leave me here! Where are you going? Oh!
Bye, Lita. Now I'm gonna go open a portal to the sun really quick. Y'all cool? There we go. I'm just gonna hang back and let that do its thing. Someone did kill Question Bot. It was Bragwin. Bragwin killed Question Bot. Oh my gosh. Of course they do tracks. In 17,000 flavors. Oh no. Oh, these were bad guys. Sorry. I didn't realize I had to murder you. My bad. Don't worry, there's plenty of anti-proton for everybody. So there's evil Kumarke.
How delightful. I seem to have acquired a new nemesis.
It is one of my favorite things to do to people. Is just to beam them to death. Mark is one of their original characters, and probably their best one, I'd say. Technically, Evil Lita is kind of an original character. Barry, kind of. So I've told this story before, but for those of you who are not aware, Chase Masterson was one of the very first Star Trek actors they actually got on an STO to actually do voice acting work for it. So she kind of got a really weirdly big role, more than you'd think, because they really wanted to do stuff with her. Like, they were happy to have her, and I was like, hey, you know, a little bit of validity, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Nimoy was the first, because he was there right up the gate. And then I think Chase Masterson was actually number 2, because then Denise Crosby was number 3. I'm almost positive. Anyways, so Mirror Lita became a really big character because, yeah, right? Like, they wanted to do something with that, and they wanted to use the actress they had. And Chase Masterson's really cool in real life, and she loved playing evil Lita, so there's a reason she's been relevant for literal years of story. Yeah, it's also why Sela became a major character, Denise Crosby. As opposed to showing up in 5 episodes?
Until next time.
4 or 5 episodes. Something like that. It was not a lot. Let's see, it's Mind's Eye, Redemption, Unification. I think that's it. So yeah, 5 episodes is what Sela was in.
Looks like the mainframe was compromised. Check the next console. Verify the status of the backups.
I mean, STO made Sela a character. It's one of the biggest reasons I wanted Sela to exist in the Trek rewrite. Was because of this Sela. Stop using your tribbles, guys. God!
How bad is it?
You know, something that makes me kind of sad? These 4 people I got with me are all named after viewers who haven't watched me in like 10 years. That's how long I've been streaming STO. Dolce, Spirit, Dawn, and Fix It. Spirit's the one who actually gave me my Galor, which I still have, by the way.
The system's been wiped. Damn! That means we have no idea what data they took.
Just assume she took everything.
Right. Hold on. Damn! A ship just made the jump from our space to the mirror universe. I'm betting our mysterious Lucari was on board. We're gonna have to chase her and get that data back.
And so, how are we gonna do that exactly? Find an ion storm?
That won't be necessary. One of the research projects here was a dimensional portal activator. It went to prototype a few months ago, so they probably worked all of the bugs out of it by now.
What's it do?
It generates a trans-universal portal between our universe and the mirror universe. They worked on it here because the barrier between our universes is thin.
Yeah, so everyone keeps telling me.
The prototype was installed on the conch-chute. With it, we'll be able to open a portal to the mirror universe. Once we're there, we can pursue the Terrans and get back what they stole from us.
Understood. Let's get to it then.
So you're going to blindly chase after her, aren't you? Well, if you die, the odds of things going south increase dramatically. So I guess I'm coming with you. Someone needs to make sure you don't screw it all up. Are you ready to head back to your ship? I hope you're ready for a fight. If I know Kumarke, she'll send a welcoming committee to greet us on the other side. She's so thoughtful. You know, for a sadistic purple sociopath.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit familiar to me, just a little.
The dimensional portal activator is online. We're ready to move out on your mark.
Let's go. Get a bounce. I forget if this is the one or the next one, but one of these is called Redshift. Do you get it? But yes, the lore run was even longer ago, Evo. The review run was only a couple years ago. What I'm talking about predates both of those.
For effort, but I'm afraid I'll have to lower your score for effectiveness. Your precious data has already been delivered to my colleagues on the station.
Okay, so do you want to die now or later?
It's charming that you think so. I'd keep you as a pet, but the Emperor wants your head on a platter. And who am I to say no to our supreme ruler? I do hope you'll die screaming. It's so much more entertaining that way.
Told ya. She's as predictable as a warp core breach.
Is a warp core breach predictable? Like, of all the things I usually associate with it, that's not really one of them. I mean, yeah, I guess if your engine's about to explode, that is kind of predictable. I suppose I can't speak it against that. Never mind, I guess.
Ship is under attack. Hull integrity below 75%.
Thanks.
Take out their shield generators if you want to beam down to the station and get your data back.
I love drifting in space. I always love to think about how many hundreds of thousands of people we kill in this game. Like, you ever think about that? I know those ships look kind of dinky there, but kind of like in Armored Core 6, you sort of lose a sense of scale after a minute. Like those frigates I'm knocking over? Those have a crew of, like, I don't know, 100? And yeah, those are Mirandas. Mirror Mirandas, but still Mirandas. And they're all dead.
Now that we've finished off the welcoming committee, why don't we beam down to the station? The longer Kumarke has that data, the more damage she'll do with it.
Hey, someone look up what the crew complement was of a Miranda. Yeah, I'm right. All right. Because we just killed like 15 of those.
We need to move fast. The data labs
220, I was close.
And they'll be coming for us soon.
Okay, weapons out.
Attention all hands. The traitor and her pets have arrived. Do bring me their heads, won't you?
Oh no, the doors won't open.
Well, that was quick. Still, this is a Terran station, and Terrans aren't terribly fond of taking orders from aliens. We might find a useful ally in the Agonizer chamber. Let's drop by and see who's suffering for defying the Purple People Crusher.
Oh god, Kira, noise.
I'm gonna claim the glory for this one!
I mean, I've only killed a few dozen Voth ships. City ships. Probably Capsules. Hello, Sean. There is an alternate shooting mode. I don't even remember how to enter it anymore. I haven't used it since like the game came out. But there's like a first-person shooter mode. It's not B because I rebound it.
Oh, look, it's our DeSoto. Better turn the Agonizer off before he dies.
We have to. Whoops. I didn't mean to hit the Voth exosuit. Oh, this is another thing I can do. I can just stomp around in my mech. It is exactly as badass as it sounds.
Thank you.
Let's see what he has to say. I'm dying to hear how he wound up in the booth.
Person has a tail. It's a dinosaur mech. Hello. Unfortunately, I can't use any of the abilities right now because, you know.
You. Figures. The only person who'll help me is an enemy from another universe.
Why were you in the booth?
Kumarke. She's been using Terrans as lab rats, testing the Emperor's new toys on them. It wasn't right. No Terran should be put to death by alien scum like her. Or that Bajoran traitor behind you. I tried to stop her. As you can see, that didn't work out for me.
Sorry, what toys? Oh god, I'm still in the
Emperor
mech.
is obsessed with that stuff. Thinks it'll make him invincible. Has something to do with
Boring conversation anyway. Looks like Kumarke used the agonizer to keep poor DeSoto quiet. Loose lips sink ships, after all. What? You don't think I did that, do you? Your team had eyes on me the whole time, champ.
Yeah, but they weren't looking at your hand, so... we need to talk about these toys of yours later.
Oh, and I'm really looking forward to that, let me tell ya. Can we go now? It'd be good to get what we came for before Kumarke calls in every Terran in comms range to murder us.
Okay. No more tribbles. My team is addicted to tribbles. I don't know what to do about this. That's the fire. There's the felines. Which one is the mech? There it is. That's the one I keep thinking of. So yeah, let's... And we'll go ahead and do this, just because I like rainbows.
Perhaps I wasn't clear earlier. Kill Lita and her thugs. Now!
I mean, Star Trek Online was being developed back in the era when people were still excited about, you know, all of the brand new amazing things that were being turned into MMOs and how exciting that was. Like, there was a common conversation back in the day of, oh man, I can't wait to see what other awesome things are going to be turned into MMOs. This is one of them. My character is as tall as can be made, yes. Yeah, exactly what I thought. Not all of those really worked out. Don't worry, they'll never make a Lord of the Rings online MMO. That's ridiculous. The sun is a deadly laser. No lies detected. I think other MMOs should offer a lifetime sub. If FF14 or WoW did that, that would be a terrible thing and would spell the death knell of both MMOs. Having said that, other MMOs which have already given up on the sub model, maybe. Lord knows quite a few already do have that option. Where's Fix It? Fix It. Fix It, where are you? Is he seriously? Okay, whatever. Oh, yep, hang on. Yeah, lifetime sub makes more sense in games like this. In a sub game, that's a death knell. It's right up there with your game going free to play. The moment your MMO goes free to play, it has officially started its downward arc. Are we out of combat? Can I finally... There we go. There's his corpse. Hey, buddy. Rub some stone on it, why don't you? Actually, weirdly enough, yeah. Your whiteness is correct. If you start free-to-play, it's a bad sign, but it's not great. It's not terrible. If you go free-to-play, you're failing. And you're doing it because you're failing.
Let me handle that lock, Chief. I can crack it like an egg. Just make sure I don't get shot in the back while I work on it, okay?
Can I shoot you in the back? No, not like that. Oh my god. Yeah, I've got an exocomp too. Yeah, STO went free to play a very long time ago. Oh gosh. Ground or space here? Because there's some good skyboxes in this game. Space boxes? Favorite ground area in this game? I'm really fond of the worlds where you can actually see the ground being assimilated. It's appropriately horrifying and really messed up. Also, while we're on the subject, the Borg ships are very well done. That was actually back during the Romulan arc. In terms of pretty factor, there's this resort area that became one of the holdings for the fleets, which is guilds in this game. That is honestly gorgeous. And frankly, Ryza.
Oh, locked you out, didn't she? Kumark is good, but she's not as good as me. I can crack her security and get to that data, but you're gonna have to trust me.
Or I could have one of the people that I actually do trust work on it.
You could, and I'm sure they're gifted, but do they know the latest in Terran security protocols? No, because I do. The time they'll waste getting past those is time Kumarke can use to bring in enough Terrans to put an end to this little raid of yours, fast. So, what's the call here, boss?
Fine.
Oh, see? You can be reasonable when you try. I'll get started then. Wait, hold on.
Now what?
That exocomp over there. We can use that to expedite things. Reprogram it to help us. When a console becomes active, unlock the console and wait for the exocomp to do the decryption.
Anything else?
Yeah, expect company. Angry company. You'll have to protect the exocomp while it's working. If it's damaged, do what you can to get it operational again. Oh, and keep me alive, too. Thanks.
Okay. I guess. I mean, do I have to? Wow, yeah, voice is cranked and music's at 45%. I'm gonna lower music a little bit more. She is really quiet on her mic. So the assimilated Undine, that's terrifying in its own right, but ultimately not much more terrifying than the Borg themselves, I'd say.
Instructions. Exocomp self-actualization subroutines halted. Provide specific instructions.
Self-actualization routines.
Data's heading to the console at 1 o'clock. Get it before it's lost.
Actually, no. Brent Spiner has always been a little bit too more expensive and or... Hello?
Keep it up!
Snooty.
There's more to go!
to do anything. The overwhelming majority of the game is voiced, yes. Pretty much the only thing that isn't voiced is us, with an asterisk on that.
Data's heading to the console at 9 o'clock. Get it before it's lost!
I mean, Spider's... he's always been kind of a dick, so that's whatever. As I'm fond of saying, there's worse than Brent Spiner amongst Trek alumni, but he is kind of a dick. I remember when getting Kate Mulgrew was considered a big win because she was way out of their price range for a long time. Like, they flat out could not afford Kate Mulgrew. Which says a lot about the budget of this game, if you're not familiar with what you're dealing with.
Heading to the console at 5 o'clock. Get it before it's lost.
Not lately, no, Yura. Nothing new. No, the game's actually weirdly good for the fact that it's an extreme budget title. It's weird. Yeah, you said John Delancey's a bit of a dick.
Keep it up.
Which I have not done any digging into yet, so I have no evidence of that personally yet. Yeah, it's almost like actually giving a crap about your game.
Heading to the console at 5 o'clock. Get it before it's lost.
Makes it really good. Sorry. I don't know, Warpcore.
There's more to go.
Easy answer. I don't know. Haven't thought about it.
Data's heading to the console at 1 o'clock. Get it before it's lost.
Yeah, so they like their hold the line missions, and they all suck because they're all a little bit too slow. And this is a great example of this. I actually do enjoy these quests for what they are. Even the ground sections. But then you just have to kill lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of enemies as you hold the line.
Keep it up. There's more to go. Got it. Finish off our uninvited guests so we can get out of here.
Right, an absolute max of 3, I would say, for something like this. Agreed, Warpcore. I've noticed they do this a lot.
Have what we came for. Take the exocomp with us. It'll be useful when we need to decrypt all of this data.
Yeah, by the way, remember that I'm geared to hell and back on the ground. Like, I could micro-optimize more than this, but you'll notice how much I'm just chipper shredding through everything. Trust me when I say, that's not normal. I am built to do that. Walk in here with a phaser and a bunch of people with tricorders. This is going to take a lot longer.
Great. Now let's get out of here while we still can.
Like, God, I remember my first beamboat ever. It was a rainbow boat. And it was fun for what it was, but man, it was a little bit different than what I do nowadays. Which is something
back.
closer to this.
That's good news. Unfortunately, it's all bad news out here. Marque's back. Brought reinforcements. So that's back to work.
What?
Until it's down, the scouting cannot be damaged. Brookhaven is generating enough
Victory is too hard. I am invincible. Excuse the God.
Huh? definitely don't want me to make this turn. They're selling chocolate?
You're quite capable of that. Perhaps I will make you my pet officer. Of course, brilliant and disciplined.
Not into that, lady. Thanks, though.
This delaying tactic has gone on long enough. Be seeing you.
Ew.
Looks like we
Please
caught a
tell me
break.
I don't sound
We
like
better get
that
back
to
to our
you.
universe before she returns with a full Terran armada.
So, as you can see, I'm a little bit of a glass cannon build. Try to be shocked that that's what I would go for. You'll notice I have barely any heals on my setup, if you look at the abilities over there. No, Warp Core. I like pleasure, not pain. Thanks. So yeah, I will absolutely destroy whatever's in front of me in seconds. But, no, and my tank build is the Juggernaut.
Right. We'll open... Okay. We're all set here.
This is the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought kills.
You're all clear. Get through the portal.
That's a good question, Sean. I don't know.
There's no more time. Go! Tactical. Target the lead cruiser and fire at will.
Oh, looks like the Khonshu didn't make it. Guess it wasn't a good day for the DeSotos of either universe.
You want to go back into your cell, lady?
Ooh, touched a nerve, did I? Sorry about that. Look, it wasn't all bad. We got your missing data and some choice Terran data to go along with it.
What?
You didn't think I'd stop when I collected your data, did you? What did I say earlier? Knowledge is power. And based on what I saw in there, I'd say we have quite a bit of power to enjoy here.
Whatever. Hail the station.
We read you. We're only picking up one ship out there, though.
Yeah, the other's horrifically dead.
Understood. Was the mission a success?
Of course it was.
That's good to know. Thank you. We have a lot of repairs to make over here, but if there's anything we can do for you, let us know.
If I might make a suggestion, let's take our prize somewhere with a lot more defenses than this station. Kumarke might come after us. Again. And we're sitting ducks where we are now.
Meanwhile...
And so they run home, tails between their legs. They probably think they've won.
Hey, Evo, you still there?
Poor deluded fools. We have everything we need from them. The location of the Emperor's prize is now known. He will be most pleased. Make sure all is ready for the next stage. Soon we will strike. For the glory of the Empire!
For the glory of the Empire! For the glory of the Empire!
So you asked if we're a character in this. Do you count our evil twin? Who's voiced, by the way.
Lives are never a cost we want to pay. I'm sure that the data you brought back will bring meaning to the sacrifices made today. I'm surprised at the level of cooperation you received from Admiral Lita. Whatever the Terran Emperor is up to must have really spooked her. I think we have a long, difficult road ahead of us on this. Alliance intelligence is working overtime to decrypt the data you recovered from the Terrans. The exocomp you liberated has been quite useful in that endeavor. With luck, we'll have more insight on the Emperor's plans soon.
I've done the entire Mirror Arc already, von Falkenstein. And half of the Borg Arc. It won't be until the last 2 missions that I reach actually new content for me. Or 3 missions, excuse me, of the Borg Arc. Yes, I've played EVE Online for Lictum. No, I didn't like it. I wanted to. Didn't quite get there. Yeah, I would say they're more evil than us. That feels about right. Get a nice shot of the ship here. So yeah, I'm going to give something away right now. They're actually really clever about how they do the voice. Because I remember I mentioned our mirror twin is voice acted. But how do you do that? They just underwent a horrific accident, and so they've got one of those speakers attached. You actually saw it on her neck there. And that actually speaks for her. So the voice is actually standardized, regardless of who you are and what your species is. And the voice box actually speaks for them. It was a nice way to dodge around that and make us voiced. My first thought, because I was playing this with PAX, obviously, the first time I played this, was just like, oh, okay. Huh. I was actually into it. It's fine, Warp Core. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you notice we're never voice acted. And never will be. The us being non-voice acted doesn't bother me too much. You know what does bother me? They never even mention, like, champion or captain or anything like that, right? Instead, they say nothing. And sometimes they can get away with that, and sometimes it's really jarring. It's like if I said, hey, do you know where the such and such is? And there's like this weird pause as I'm talking, because there's obviously supposed to be something there that I'm saying, and it's like, I'm not. Because what they do is they fill in your actual rank for that. Yeah, they don't know our rank, but who cares? Just say captain. We're always the captain. I mean, World of Warcraft calls you champion. Regardless of our race and class. And level. Just call us captain. It's fine. We're good. Anyways. Ugh. Anyways. Oh yeah, Omowaka. We don't talk about that, though. Yeah, exactly. It is a long-standing rule that regardless of your actual rank, when you're in charge of a ship, you are a captain.
There's been an incident at Jupiter Station. Admiral Janeway is leading the relief operations there and has asked for backup. I'd like you to join the Admiral at Jupiter Station and provide any assistance she might require. Be prepared. If the Terrans are bold enough to strike at the very heart of the Federation, they must be up to something big.
Also, an extremely minor irritation. It's here on DZ Maven. That has always bothered me about STO. We build up to being a fleet admiral. I am currently a fleet admiral. Why? The final rank should have been captain, right? Especially considering what we do and how we do it. Cool cities? So you can also hit this button. Yeah, they finally afforded Kate Mulgrew. This was they PR'd the hell out of this when they finally got her on the show. And they used her everywhere. In fact, one of the most irritating things is they decided to reinsert her. Reinsert? I'm saying that wrong. They decided to change the Federation starter intro experience to add Janeway to it. Which kind of makes it worse in several ways. But yeah, retroactively is what I was going for, because it's the same intro, and we're still fighting the Borg. But whatever. Hang on, let me take some notes here really quick, because I'm actually going a little bit faster than I thought I would be going here. Have some music. Let me jot some notes down, real quick. It's Jupiter Station. Normally, I'd say you could tell by the red dot, but that's apparently not going to be true in about a century. Oh my god, it's already gone. They already got rid of the... Oh, no, there it is. We're cool. We do actually outrank Janeway. But, you know. My ship is just that big. No. Actually, ironically, the Lexington really is gargantuan. But it's not that big. It actually irritates me how big the Lexington is. It doesn't look like a large ship. But my saucer section right there is about the size of a Galaxy class. This is an enormous ship. Doesn't look like it. It actually looks smaller. Like the lines and the curves and the stylings of it. But no, this thing's enormous. Oh, whatever. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Just jot down some notes. I'm actually going to be... This is going to be a relatively short stream because I started so late. But I also have a lot of work to do off camera.
Good to see you again. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. The Terrans hit us pretty hard today. Several of our ships are in trouble. See what you can do to help out. We'll talk more once we have everyone out of harm's way.
Yes, sir, Admiral Sir, whose I outrank.
Whatever medical teams you could spare would be most welcome.
Do I have... I am on a death machine which is built out of guns. Do I have medical teams? By the way, my 4, in case you're curious, just to show off the build a little bit. So this is the Terran Task Force dual heavy cannons, which is set up to triple damage. The Agony Phaser dual beam, which is exactly what it sounds like. The Phaser wide array angle dual heavy beams, which is set up with damage 4. And the Dark Matter Quantum Torpedo Launcher, which is also set up with damage 4. The aft is an Omni Kinetic, an Omni Trilithium Enhanced Phaser Beam, and my personal favorite, the Trilithium Enhanced Phaser Turret. Yeah, I have almost nothing but war crime weapons on my ship. The front is nothing but guns that shoot in front, and the back is nothing but guns that shoot in a 360-degree angle. I also have a lot of things that improve my damage, including, of course, a full 4 spread of tactical consoles, all of which are boosting ship damage. The board cutting beam is out of date. Oh wait, no, sorry. It's this thing. It's this thing right here. God, this is the cutting beam right here. God, confusing me here. I apparently have something else that I didn't recognize. Whatever. Moving on.
Away teams received.
Look, I know what you're talking about. Just because I'm flying around in a mirror universe ship.
Juno, we've lost main power. Any engineering support would be helpful. Thanks. We'll get your people back to you as soon as we have things under control.
This is Chief Engineer Jarrett of the Akron. We're out of time. Our warp core is going critical, and we can't eject it. We need to evacuate now.
I'm reading about Tree
Evacuate as many people as possible from the Akron before their warp core breaches.
There's 2 more groups to beam out. I'll buy you as much time as I can. The last of us are ready for transport. Hurry! The core's about to breach!
Sorry, warp core.
That's everyone. Get to a safe distance.
The Akron treated us well. I'm going to miss her and her captain.
Losing the Akron wasn't easy to watch, but you saved the survivors on board. That's what matters the most. Well done. This situation is getting complicated, and officers like you can help me get to the bottom of things. Let's meet on Voyager to go over this in person.
But... like... isn't Voyager Tuvok's ship?
Granted. I'll meet you in the...
Oh god, I don't know. Which year was 2009? Would be my immediate answer to that. Unless you mean the film.
Welcome aboard.
In which case, screw that
There's
film.
a lot to discuss, and very little time to do so. Walk with me. I'll get you up to speed on the way to the conference room.
Okay.
Here's what we know so far. The Terran fleet warped into the Sol system unchallenged.
I am over a head taller than her. She isn't coming up to my shoulders. Granted, Kate Mulgrew's actually pretty short.
Bypass all of our security measures. You saw what they did to the ships near the station. Once they dealt with those ships, they raided the station itself. Their objective was unusual, even for Terrans.
That's putting it mildly.
Right. Let's get down to business. As you know, the Terrans raided a secret research station in the Izar system earlier. They stole a large amount of classified data during that raid, which you managed to recover. Starfleet intelligence believes they found what they were looking for in that data, and it led them here, to Jupiter Station.
I'm sorry. The reason I was laughing so much... So, for those of you not aware, this game has a dodge roll. It's actually really useful when you're not ridiculously overpowered like I am. But it's really easy to trigger on accident because it's tap-tap. So if you're trying to reposition yourself, it's relatively easy to do it on accident. And I'm just picturing in lore, like imagine an episode of Star Trek. Captain walks into the red room, turns around, as you know, and the other person's like, whoosh, and just immediately dodge rolls away during the meeting. And Janeway's just like, get down! Whoosh. Tuvok, no!
I'm bringing in a consultant to assist with this briefing. Someone with first-hand experience of the incident at Jupiter Station.
You're gonna love this.
It's... Yeah, it's Janeway. Borg Janeway, of course.
Told ya.
If you're finished gawking, believe me, I don't want to be here any more than you do. Let's get this over with. 14 hours ago, I led a Terran strike force operation to Jupiter Station. All right, let's get started.
Enjoyably bad for Lictum. I enjoyed it for what it is. I'm just never going to watch it again, you know. So, we are now playing our own Mirror Universe self, who has much worse gear. Can I just say that that's the worst part about this? Is we have nothing. We have like a phaser and a melee strike with a knife. Chains of Agony, which is fine, I guess, and the Agonizer, and that's kind of it. Like, we suck. Ugh. Yeah, we're level nothing. Anyways.
The operation is about to commence. We've entered Federation space undetected, thanks to security codes obtained by Imperial agents. By the time we drop out of warp in the Sol system, it'll be too late for the defenders of Jupiter Station.
Yes!
This plan is reckless. Even for you, Marshal. We're not dealing with a legion of witless cyborgs here. And I'd rather not end up in a Starfleet prison for the rest of my days. Or, you know, dead.
Okay, real quick. I've heard good things about the actress who plays Tilly, and that she is a good character on Discovery. She sucks as Mirror Tilly. Because, like, they took Tilly, and they're like, okay, we need to make the Mirror Universe version of her. But they don't make her evil. They make her a Karen. And I don't have a better way to phrase that. She's just, like, that particular level of smarmy asshole. And it gets to the point where I just want her off my screen, you know?
Your position is noted, Captain. Perhaps you'd like to voice your concerns to the Emperor? It is his plan, after all. No? Anyone? I didn't think so.
Fortune, as they say, favors the bold. If we succeed today, the favor of the Emperor will be ours. So, please summarize our mission objectives, Marshal.
And there's our voice actress.
Very well, Inquisitor. Listen closely. Once we arrive at Jupiter Station, we'll offer them the chance to surrender. They may show their bellies without firing a shot. If not, we'll deal with them and board the station. We will find the Emperor's prize, secure it, and return to our universe, and the great reward that awaits us there.
It's about time. I could use a good fight.
This isn't the 23rd century. Battles aren't won with karate chops and smirks.
Bloodthirst built the Empire. You'd be wise to remember that.
It has served you well so far, Captain.
Yep, bloodthirst and midriffs. What's actually funny is, check this out. All the female uniforms have long sleeves and exposed midriffs. All the male uniforms, the midriff is covered, but the sleeves are gone. Except for Kumarki, she's just in her dominatrix outfit.
If it gets in the way on our mission, I won't hesitate to put you down.
Yeah, so that's the Inquisitor.
Yeah. Stop flirting with me. You'll make Kumarki blush.
Do recall that Marshal Janeway does not suffer fools. And we are on her vessel.
You're not going anywhere but the grave.
Oh no.
I think not, traitor.
Been in your shadow long enough.
Die! Die, coward!
Shut up and fight.
Oh, hang on.
Done this a long time ago.
Enough of this. Time for you to die.
Aw, look at the mess you made. The Marshal's gonna get cranky.
Bravo! Well fought! 3 cheers for...
Stop! Kumarki, we're not doing that. An assassination attempt before breakfast? Rude. Nice to see I'm not the only one who's tried to end you, Inquisitor. Unlike that idiot, I live to tell the tale. And hey, you got that sweet voice box out of the deal.
Yes, you tried. And you failed. Fortunately for you, I am a loyal servant of the Emperor. Because he wishes it, you're still breathing. Should that change, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, won't we?
Believe me, if we get to that bridge, I'll be the one blowing it up underneath you. But for now, the Emperor says we have to play nice, so this is me, playing nice. See you at Jupiter Station. Unless your yeoman puts a shiv in your back on the way.
The Defiant is ready to receive you, Inquisitor. Step onto the transporter pad when you're ready.
The Sith are like, hold up. Maybe don't constantly try to kill each other. For 5 seconds. That's all I'm asking. 5 seconds. Yeah, Killy is not great here. She wasn't great before this, and she's not great now. Oops, that's... nope. Yeah, you know my biggest reason I don't like Tilly? So, she's an actress from the show who came on to STO, which means she gets lots of lines, which means her character's around for a while. So... this is more like the conclusion to it, Shimmy Gamix. MMOs, after all, continue to have content over time. We're going to have another WoW stream later this year and a FF14 stream about late spring next year as well. And at some point, we'll get caught up in Guild Wars 2 as well. Still haven't decided what I'm doing about ESO.
Jupiter Station. I am Marshal Catherine Janeway of the Terran Empire. Surrender, and your lives will be spared. Resistance, as the saying goes, is futile. Make the smart choice.
Request denied, Marshal. I'd advise you to surrender while you're still able to do so.
A predictable response, Marshal. I suggest we teach them the error of their ways. My crew and I stand ready to lead the charge.
Yeah, of course we're in the Mirror Defiant.
I think you got a little something brown on your nose there, Inquisitor.
Enough. Inquisitor, the honor is yours. Teach them a lesson they'll never forget. Those who manage to survive, anyway.
Inquisitor, I have 17 cases of Romulan ale that say we're earning the most glory today.
17
and you're on.
cases of ale.
Done. Good luck scoring you. Think you can have much luck with failure?
We'll see about that.
Oh, right, that makes so much sense. When they say cases, they mean evil cases. And evil ale. Which I guess is just water? No. Evil ale is vinegar. Straight vinegar. Which they love to drink, of course.
Fire at will. It will be our pleasure, Marshal.
Get ready to lose that bet, sir.
Cut the chatter. That's not
You killed a lot of good people out there. And for what? What the hell do you want?
You'll find out soon enough, Commander. Surrender and prepare to be boarded.
Marshal Janeway, I request a ceasefire to conduct rescue operations.
He's stalling, buying time for reinforcements to arrive. The Empire doesn't negotiate with prey. Let's knock down their shields and take what we came here for.
This insolence of yours is getting tiresome, Captain. Remember your place, or I will gut you like a fish and kick your carcass out of the nearest airlock. What is it, Inquisitor?
We're reading several Starfleet vessels approaching at high warp, Marshal. They'll be here in moments.
Battle stations. Fire to disable. If Starfleet is so concerned about rescue operations, let's give them something to rescue. It'll keep any more would-be reinforcements occupied.
Tactical. Fire to disable.
These are, in case you missed it, the ships we just rescued. Get high warp inside the Sol system. Please think about that for more than 5 seconds. Also keep in mind, by this point in history, we have access to things like Warp 30. Yeah, there's never been an attack on anything inside the Sol system in the history of Star Trek, ever, including the very movie this entire arc is referencing. Keeps killing my bot.
You won't get away with this. Whatever you're after.
Called it. He needs to be broken. Or killed. I'm good either way.
Very well. We'll disable the station, but I warn you, if the Emperor's prize is damaged or lost, I'll kill each of you myself, slowly, An agonizer booth at maximum setting will feel like mercy by the time I'm done with you. Do I make myself clear?
There's a price for defying the Terran Empire, and I am here to the left. Tactical, concentrate fire on their habitat.
Data, obviously, Europe. That's why Evo keeps killing the bot. Because she knows.
Do not risk the loss of the Emperor's prize. All right, they're at our mercy. It's time to do what we came to do. Let's go down to the station and take the Emperor's prize.
Now for the section that's gonna suck. That was actually fun. For once they gave us a...
Prepare yourselves. We've got their backs to the wall, and something tells me they won't go down without a fight.
Okay, so STO has this long-standing habit of giving us a pre-baked ship, a prefab ship, for a mission, and whatever build they give us sucks. But here they actually gave us a freaking Defiant, which has exactly what the Defiant has, which is quads. And you saw it in action. It was just obliterating everything because it's the quads, right? That's how that works. So, what do I think of the Inquisitor's voice acting? It's pretty bad. I've heard worse. Recently, even. But I'm not a huge fan of it.
As we planned, then. 2 teams. Team 1's objective is to disrupt their security systems through sabotage. Team 2 will then gain access to critical systems and take control of them.
Once that's done, we can use their transporters to beam directly to where the Emperor's prize is located, and take it. Try not to get roughed up by a bunch of scientists and lab assistants.
Let's get moving, Inquisitor.
Can I have my real guns for this, please? I do think Mulgrew's doing a good job, but of course she is. She's done good voice acting before, so that's not really a huge surprise. Yeah, so this deserves its own negative, honestly. Which one is this one? This is Redshift. So yeah, some of you probably didn't even notice, but the way that the guns are designed in this is you can right-click them to set them up as auto-fire. In other words, you target someone and then white damage happens. I know that sounds dumb, but that's how most games are. Like in Final Fantasy XIV or in World of Warcraft, if you right-click an enemy, you start auto-attacking, right? Very basic concept. Goes back a long time. It's white damage. You can't do that with the Mirror Universe character, with the Inquisitor. Instead, you have to hit one every single shot that you want to do. And trust me, that gets exactly as old as that sounds.
We've got intruders in the storage area! Repeat, intruders in the storage area!
That didn't take long.
Yeah, manual white damage. What? Yes, Tor, the bastion and pinnacle of good combat design in an MMO.
They're here! Phasers on stun! Open fire!
Phasers on stun, eh? Too bad ours are set for kill.
Looks like this group has more fight in them.
So they're angry geeks and nerds. Got it. Huh. One of them almost hit me. I'm impressed.
Maybe, but if he did, what could he do about it, Sean? Oh. Well, then we're in agreement, because, yeah.
That's where we part company. Get the job done, Team 2.
We won't fail you, Marshal.
We won't fail you. Ugh. Let's go, Camargue. You know, when you're done kissing the Marshal's backside.
Just because I like Janeway's ass.
Enough. Someone get these doors open.
I'm on it.
Yes, Sorry, you're... Jeez.
Got it. Ready when you are, Marshal.
Even the animations bug out a little bit if you're paying attention, because of how it's not designed to work this way.
They're leaning in. You're trapped. Surrender now, and no harm will come to you.
Why is everyone Tanae?
Security fields.
Do they have only one female actress, other than the woman who voices Kamarke?
I'll reconfigure the isolinear chips here and shut down power to the fields.
What do you mean? Isn't it natural to look like that? I think it's because she's tall, actually. Again, this is an extraordinarily tall character, so you can see how her body type is a little elongated.
Waiting on you, Marshal. Tick-tock.
I was to say, we've got Lita, which is Chase Masterson. We've got Kate Mulgrew. We've got the woman who voices Tilly. We've got the woman who voices Kamarke. She's actually unique. And then we've got the female voice actress. That's 5 female actresses, all of whom are in this story arc. Don't worry, we'll have a 6th later.
Commander, do not let them seize control of that station under any
If you really want to do some death damage, you kneel, which actually increases your output, believe it enough.
Get those bombs planted, Inquisitor.
On it. Cover me while I work.
Clock's ticking. Still haven't heard any explosions. Having troubles?
Not as many as you'll have if you don't stop distracting us.
We're debating how to handle brickwork or something like this. It's actually weirdly good, if very video gamey. But the video gaminess is actually good. Or rather, it's worse when it's not, is probably the better way to phrase that. Like, for example, you probably can't even tell, but if you actually zoom out for a second, this room is like 20 feet tall. Now, do you know why? It's because the camera. A huge amount of the indoor areas are much larger than they should be because camera issues, right? There are several in this game which are actually to scale, and trust me, they feel very claustrophobic and very unpleasant to maneuver through. So everywhere is just bigger than it otherwise should be. But that doesn't bother me because it's there for a gameplay purpose, like I said. And I do like the actual attention to detail on the walls and the elk cars, the blinking lights, the skyboxes, the ships. Hey, Crownjacker. And thank you, I think. Enough. How many times must I kill you, old man?
Charge is set. Get to a safe position. Move!
Flanking damage detected.
Nice kaboom! We intercepted their security protocol transfer. Kamarke is taking control as we speak.
Good. Once you take their internal sensors offline, we can move undetected. For now, drop the security fields.
Sure, if you ask me nicely.
Captain, you are on dangerously thin ice here. Get that security field down now. Inquisitor, there's a Jeffries tube nearby. We'll use it to go between decks.
As you wish. Marshal.
All right, it's down. Go!
I'm not sure, von Falkenstein.
Watch out! There's the Jeffries tube. Let's get climbing.
Why'd they cancel that alert when there's still Terrans on board?
That's a mystery you'll never solve, I'm afraid.
This is the transporter room.
You know what? I just figured it out, Evo.
Breach and clear.
If you're paying attention...
They're here! Open fire!
Why am I stuttering? Oh, God. There we go. If you're paying attention, once upon a time, I mentioned how one of the difficulties I've always had as a voice director is convincing my actors how to voice an evil character. Because if you tell someone sound evil,
Beam us directly to the medical ward.
they sound like the Inquisitor here. You know what I mean. Anybody's ever done this, you know what I mean. They just suddenly become evil, and then we will be evil and do evil things. And it's just like that completely generic evil thing, which is terrible. Can be fun. Kate, Janeway, what are you doing? Janeway? You, Okay.
Energizing. Something's wrong here.
What's the holdup? We need to get out of here before Starfleet overruns our position.
Starfleet's adapted their security protocols. We're locked out of the transporter controls. Time to go to Plan B. Meet us at the hub on Deck 7. Janeway out. Get to the hub as fast as you can.
Hey, Chilpin.
Perfect. I love running.
Yep. Mirror Universe's Neelix's cooked brownies are evil.
Stop.
Why am I stopping again?
Tilly and her pet are a problem. Can I count on you if things go sideways?
Of course, Marshal.
For I am loyal to only one thing. The Emperor! Who is Picard, obviously.
Commander, we got more contact.
As voiced by Jonathan Frakes.
Damn, we're in a tight spot.
Oh, he's a really good cook. And all he cooks is poison! And meth. No, that's it. That's it. He just cooks meth. Oh, Jesus.
How nice of you to join.
What took you so long? Did you stop to replicate some coffee on the way?
Yes.
Fighting now. Coffee later.
You heard her. Coffee later.
We're clear for now, Marshal.
Chaos has been destroyed. Beep boop.
Time to change things up a bit. Inquisitor, you and Tilly will get us access to the turbo lifts. Kumarke and I will focus on disabling the security lockouts. Once that's done, we should be able to get to the medical ward using turbo lifts. We'll rendezvous there.
Interesting that the Marshal pulled that little team switch. What do you think she's up to?
Maybe she's hoping we'll kill each other, so she won't have to.
Speaking of which, why are you walking behind me, Tilly?
This is Janeway. What's your status?
About to take turbolift control. Stand by.
Ready, phaser. They're here.
Let's get this party started, nerds!
Watch your fire! We need functional controls once we've cleared the room.
Less talking, more shooting!
Yeah, ironically, the viscerality of the ground is only good when you get the cool stuff.
At last!
You know, like I have. Viscerality in space is pretty good, though. In fact, I need to jot down some notes about that real quick. Sorry, hang on 1 second. Get some question marks by that. Of course, Jill Pangolin.
Hold your position, Inquisitor. Captain Kumarke tells me she needs about 15 seconds to finish cracking their security overrides.
So, did Grandma Janeway ask you to kill me? I mean, I'd be insulted if she didn't.
Yep.
Janeway here. We've done our part. Ball's in your court now, Inquisitor.
Yeah, we'll get right on that, Marshal.
I mean, if the whole game was designed around that, that could have worked. Then because I get what you mean exactly. There's something engaging about being not only so limited, but the tools you have being so significant, you know? Problem is, like most games, that gets out of date extremely quickly.
Need to reroute through that console.
I mean, I remember when I got my very, very first
Reroute complete.
Actually decent gun, which wasn't even that good of a gun. It was the spiral beams from my Galor, and it was such a night and day thing compared to the slog everything I'd done before that was. You mentioned the density.
I need you on that console, Inquisitor.
Sorry, I was just thinking, like, imagine a hypothetical where a game actually earns 100 positives in 2 hours. Completely impossible, of course, but actually think about it. I've decided to kill you. The Terran Empire way, yeah!
Try it now.
Fun fact, melee weapons are actually overpowered in this game, no joke. In fact, so there's a whole mechanic, which I talked about last time, which I'm not going to go into this time, that boils down to vulning and exploiting. You set up a vuln, and then you exploit it, and the exploit does tons of damage. One of the best exploiters in the game is still just drop-kicking someone. It'll one-shot bosses.
Got it! Turbo lift control is restored.
You can only have that if you're tactical, though.
Nice work. We have turbo lift access here. Proceed with the plan. Kumarke and I will meet you at the objective.
You think Janeway will convince Kumarke to betray me?
Doesn't she want to anyways?
That seems unlikely. Your pet is very loyal.
Oh, never mind. I forget who Kumarke's shacked up with. Oh, well. Mir Kumarke, obviously. Regular Kumarke, she's shacked up with me.
You aren't working for the Marshal.
I work for the Emperor.
Uh-huh. It still doesn't tell me why you're here.
To make sure the job gets done.
There's an incredible amount of combat in STO, yes. Like, pound for pound, it's more than something like, say, a WoW mission. Which is funny when you think about it.
Ask the Emperor. I'm sure he'd love explaining himself to you.
Wow. Stick with your day job, Inquisitor.
The joke will be on us if we don't stay focused.
I mean, Kumarke is unironically one of the best characters they've added to this game. So, think of that what you will. Well, yeah, that's why they call it Star Wreck Online, right?
Mind if we cut in?
Thanks, game. Yeah, by the way, spoilers, we're about to have another wave of Mooks mission thing. They really do like that in their modern design. It pads out the runtime of
Beginning
missions.
decontamination sweep.
So, anybody have a guess what the Emperor's prize is? The thing we're here to steal? Don't answer if you know what it is.
This ends now, Terrans. It's over.
You're right, Commander. It is over.
It's another us. Oh, yeah, flanking damage is the thing in this game too. They have the base bone systems of what could have been interesting a ground combat system. They have manual aiming mode. They have crouching, which removes your ability to maneuver but gives you extra damage. They have flanking damage. They have different damage types. They have buffs and reactive buffs, all kinds of cool little stuff. But the problem is,
No way I'm letting you take... One for emergency transport.
problem is it's this combat engine,
Last nerve.
which is extremely old and extremely terrible.
The prize is ours for the taking, Marshal.
Indeed. Inquisitor, if you would do the honors and open the door.
All right, last chance for guesses. How many of you got this immediately?
Huh. I expected someone more impressive.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, let's do that.
Of course.
To be honest, I didn't think you'd make it this far, but I'm happy to finish you off now. You've had the Emperor's favor long enough. It's our time for glory now.
Really? Well then. If you want to kill the Queen, you need to deal with her pawns.
Of course, Mir Janeway has an army of loyal drones.
You're not as loyal as you led me to believe, Inquisitor.
Afraid not, Marshal. Nothing personal. Tilly made the better deal.
And it was for a lot more than Romulan ale.
Perhaps we should gloat after the battle is won.
What the? She's got some sort of invulnerability shield.
She's adapted. The Borg drones have formed a micro-collective. We need to eliminate them to make her vulnerable. Her shield is down. Now's our chance. Open fire! She's adapted. Eliminate Borg drones to make her vulnerable. Her shield is down. Now's our chance. Open fire! She's adapted. Eliminate Borg drones to make her vulnerable.
See what I mean?
Now's our chance.
It's another one of these types of missions. There's a lot of these. I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all.
She's adapted. Eliminate Borg drones to make her vulnerable. Her shield is down. Now's our chance. Open fire!
Die, Janeway. I've wanted to do this for years. Ross isn't watching, right? Oh, crap. Janeway's assimilating me. No!
Now's our chance. Open
I
fire!
regret everything.
Mark my words, traitors. You will burn for this.
I'll give the old girl credit. Making a Borg army out of the Starfleet goons we dropped along the way was a solid move. If she is, they'll be Starfleet's problem, not ours. If the Marshal survives, she'll be stuck here. Shouldn't be too bad. I hear Federation prisons are soft and comfy.
A fate worse than death.
Yeah, that's her problem, not ours. Get the transporter beacon on the Emperor's prize so we can beam her out of here.
So yeah, for those of you who don't recognize this, this is from Star Trek The Motion Picture, the movie I referenced earlier. which is what this whole arc is kind of about.
The Emperor's prize is ours. Let's beam up and get back to our universe.
The rest, as they say, is history. Let's discuss how we resolve this fine little mess, preferably over some coffee. I think that could be arranged.
And I sit there silently. Very silently.
So now we know who the Terrans were after. What we still don't know is why. Perhaps you can shed some light on that, Marshal. That information is above even my pay grade, Admiral. Only the Emperor knows, and he isn't one to share such secrets willingly. I suspect you know more about the Emperor's prize than I do. What's so special about that woman?
Well, you ever seen Star Trek the Motion Picture?
We know she's one of ours. Lieutenant Ilea, a Delta navigator assigned to the Enterprise in the late 23rd century. Until recently, she was listed as missing in action after an incident involving a powerful entity in deep space.
So why was she on Jupiter Station?
Recently, she teleported into a Starfleet research station in the Epsilon sector and promptly collapsed. She's been comatose ever since. She was transferred to Jupiter Station for medical care due to her unique physiology.
Am I being a bit more specific? Baldness isn't exactly a unique biological trait, especially for Deltans.
According to the researchers on Jupiter Station, Ilea is a hybrid, a fusion of biological and artificial life. Very advanced artificial life. The research team could barely comprehend the nature of her artificial components. One of them told me it made a Soong-type android look crude by comparison.
Yes, that's right. Alien tech that Kirk interacted with over a century ago is still something that completely dwarfs anything we can make today. Please ignore the ludicrously advanced tech we have in STO as of the modern era.
Well, I don't know how a bald cyborg factors into making the Emperor's ultimate weapon, but he does tend to have plans within plans. Maybe he wants this Ilea to serve as a prototype for some new type of super soldier.
I don't care what he wants. It's our job to stop him and bring Ilea back. So, we need a plan, and we need it fast. By now, Tilly and her cohorts will have returned the Emperor's prize to Terran space dock in our universe. You'll want to move fast and be ready for the fight of your life if you want to bring her back.
We're gonna have a problem there, Marshal?
Let me be clear. This is an enemy of my enemy situation. I mean to get revenge on Tilly and her lackeys, and working with you will help me accomplish that goal. I see no reason to complicate matters. Do you?
No.
Then it sounds like we have an understanding. Now let's get to it.
Yes, Yura. First time Ilea's here. And yes, so for those of you wondering, one of the ideas that was floated by one of the people who worked on Star Trek was that V'ger either was the origination of the Borg or interacted with the Borg, and that's what led to it being super advanced. The individual in question was Roddenberry. So, screw that. Alright.
Well, well. It looks like my recent work with Starfleet on training scenarios has paid off. Never thought you'd have the guts to try anything like that, but what can I say? You're just full of surprises.
Yes, Lita, I will have sex with you.
Are you kidding? This is my kind of crazy. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I am that good.
And if my help isn't enough, you have 2 Janeways working on this. I can't wait to see what those crazy old birds come up with. Especially after a few pots of coffee.
We took some serious hits here today, but they've had their innings. Now it's our turn at bat. Starfleet will put their best and brightest to work on the rescue operation. I've been assured that our allies in the Alliance will do the same. Working together, we survived the Iconian War, We can deal with this Terran incursion as well.
Yeah, honestly, the Terrans... One of the other things I don't like about this story arc is they try to play up the Terrans as being, like, super doomy, and it's like, we have dealt with so much worse. Before STO even came out, we had worse than the freaking Terrans. It's like being told you're fighting a horrible combination of the Sith Empire and Team Rocket. And I specifically mean Jesse and James, Team Rocket.
One thing's for certain. Starfleet needs to improve the defenses here at Jupiter Station. I have a few ideas on that. But for now, Ilea is our top priority.
Earlier.
Captain's log, supplemental. We have the Emperor's prize at last. With Janeway out of the picture, the glory is ours alone. We will learn the secrets of the Emperor's prize. By any means necessary.
Kumarke to bridge. We're ready to begin.
What? To be continued. Bum bum bow wow 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 wow. I'm really tempted to cut off like right there. Let's just have that be the end of the stream.
The Terrans continue to perplex me. They went to a lot of trouble to kidnap Ilea, despite the incredible risk. It just doesn't add up. Something tells me that the Terran Emperor's plans involve a lot more than kidnapping.
We did it! Woo! Alright. Wait a minute. Oh my god. I'm out of coffee! To be continued! Bum bum bum!